Others are fast-moving.
Unlike other big rallies,
Bit earlier at about 7 a.m., a group from the Coast Guard. Welcome to #PH Vote 2013.
Today on Rappler, the death toll from the floods and landslides in Mindanao rises to 23. The former aide of Imelda Marcos is sentenced to jail over the sale of a Monet painting. And the Philippines raises crisis alert level 1 and warns against travel to Thailand. Hello, I'm Maria Ressa. Welcome to Rappler, your social news network. The death toll from floods and landslides caused by a low-pressure area in Mindanao rises to 23. At least 14 people are missing. The affected areas include the same areas hit by Typhoon Pablo in 2012: Davao Oriental, Dinagat Islands, Compostela Valley, Agusan del Sur, Zamboanga del Sur, and Zamboanga del Norte. Officials say the Saug River and the Libuganon River dams, both in Davao del Norte, also overflowed. Flooding damages irrigation dams in Catail, Davao Oriental. The low-pressure area affected around 40,000 families, forcing thousands to evacuate. As of Tuesday, 34 roads and 17 bridges are not passable. The former personal secretary of Imelda Marcos was sentenced to 2 to 6 years in prison for conspiring to sell impressionist masterpieces belonging to the Philippine government that vanished when President Ferdinand Marcos was ousted. A U.S. judge also orders 75-year-old Vilma Bautista to pay $3.5 million in income taxes for failing to report $28 million from the sale of a famous Claude Monet water lily work to a London gallery, which resold it to a hedge fund manager in Switzerland. In November, a jury convicted Bautista of conspiracy and tax fraud. The Monet painting was taken along with 3 others in late 1995 from the walls of a New York townhouse owned by the Philippine government. Bautista says she had Mrs. Marcos's written permission to sell the works. The Philippine government wants to recover them. With measles cases on the rise in Metro Manila, the Department of Health, or DOH, is stepping up a campaign to eliminate this infectious viral disease by 2017. The mass immunization starts September and will target 13 million children nationwide. ONA says the goal is to remove measles as a recurring public health concern.
Well, maybe the term measles-free may be a sort of a difficult situation to achieve, but certainly we would like that the Philippines would be able to eliminate measles as a public health problem by 2017. And the reason for that is because, yes, we now have vaccines that can protect our children, and of course the entire population. But making everybody, or making it, as you said, measles-free, maybe, so I would call it an overstatement, but certainly that is a target that we would like to achieve.
ONA says the DOH is also proposing a devolution of health care. He says the department is preparing a bill in Congress recommending the move of provincial and municipal health officers under the DOH to prevent political issues from affecting health services.
You see, the devolution of health is such that the responsibility of public health and even hospital care in a particular province is under the responsibility of the governor.
Right.
And in a particular town, it is the responsibility of the mayor. And so
It can
right
become
away
very
by this-
political.
yes, it commonly is a very political issue because the provincial health officer gets his salary from the governor and can be changed by the governor every time there's a new governor, for that matter. There is no so-called permanency in their job, and that kind of makes things difficult.
Watch the full interview with investigative desk editor Chai Hofilenya on Rappler. The latest Pulse Asia survey suggests the National Capital Region, or NCR, trusts the Senate more after the controversy of the multi-billion peso pork barrel scam. Hundreds of thousands of people protested what many saw as institutionalized corruption, but Pulse Asia research fellow Ana Tabunda says Metro Manila residents softened on the Senate, where 24 members used to enjoy 200 million pesos each of the pork barrel, and 3 senators currently face plunder complaints. Excuse me. The Senate registers nationwide trust ratings of 42% in December, higher than its 35% in September. NCR records a significant increase of 13 points from a trust rating of 35% in September to 48% in December. The Supreme Court, which declared the pork barrel unconstitutional, suffers declines in Luzon, excluding Metro Manila, and among ABC demographics. The survey numbers suggest respondents were able to distinguish the Senate as an institution from the individual senators. Senate President Frank Drilon's trust ratings dropped 6 percentage points from 46% in September to 40% in December. Don Mariano Bus Transit is losing its franchise after an accident last month. On Tuesday, the Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board, or LTFRB, cancels the franchise nearly a month after a Don Mariano bus plunged off an elevated skyway, killing at least 18 people and injuring 16 others. A 2011 list by the LTFRB names Don Mariano as the deadliest among bus franchises. The board suspended the bus operator several times earlier. The Philippines raises crisis alert level 1 and warns Filipinos not to travel to Thailand because of political unrest. For the second day, thousands of protesters tried to shut down the capital, Bangkok, Tuesday. It's in a bid to overthrow Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra. Bangkok security chief says as many as 170,000 people poured into the streets Monday, taking over business and shopping districts and blocking main roads. On Tuesday, CNN reports the number of protesters went down to about 20,000. Authorities say 20,000 police and soldiers were deployed across the capital, but they were largely invisible. Police retreat to barracks or back streets, while civilian guards take over traffic and crowd control duties. Throughout the weeks of mass rallies, Yingluck has adopted defensive tactics to prevent violence from spiraling out of control, a stark contrast to a military crackdown on opposition protests under the previous government that left dozens dead in 2010. Let's now look at Rappler's Wrap for today, a list of the 10 most important events around the world you shouldn't miss. At number 4, Taiwan rejects China's new fisheries law but also dismisses Manila's claim over the Spratly Islands in the disputed South China Sea. The Philippines earlier slammed China's new policy requiring foreigners to seek China's permission to fish in this disputed area. In a statement, Taiwan stood firm in claiming the Spratly Islands, Paracel Islands, Macclesfield Islands, and Pratas Islands. Taiwan also raises the idea of joint exploration in place of unilateral measures. At number 5, U.S. President Barack Obama defends his strategy in the Afghan war mission after former Pentagon Chief Robert Gates said the president lacked passion for military action. Gates sparked a Washington firestorm when he suggested in his new memoir that Obama became disillusioned with the troop surge strategy. But Obama says he, quote, continued to have faith in the U.S. mission in Afghanistan. Gates says his memoir was hijacked by those pushing a political agenda, adding he, quote, actually agreed with virtually every decision President Obama made. And at number 7, a new study says a jolt of caffeine can stir memory, providing a scientific motive for students slurping coffee when cramming for exams. A team at Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore, Maryland, finds caffeine enhances certain memories for at least a day after they were formed. Evidence for caffeine as a memory booster has been largely anecdotal until now. For the full top 10, visit Rappler.com's The Wrap. After 5 years, Cristiano Ronaldo is once again recognized as the best football player in the world. Ronaldo won the Ballon d'Or for the first time after leading Manchester United to Champions League glory in 2008. But he's been relegated to second place in 3 of the last 4 years. Barcelona's Lionel Messi won the award for an unprecedented 4 consecutive times. Messi struggled with injuries the past year, paving the way for Ronaldo to once again claim football's highest individual award. Brooms, wands, and green babies. Well, there's more to bringing the mythical land of Oz to life. Gitanji goes behind the curtains to look at the iconic props and elaborate sets that make up Wicked the musical.
Sharing one wonderful one choice.
The wizard will see you now!
The musical comes to Manila after the New Zealand season, with the exact recreation of lighting, spectacular sets, and innovative props that conjure the magic for the biggest Broadway show of the last decade.
So tell us, what do you do for your job? What are all these monitors about?
So basically I call the show, and so I talk to all the departments, the mechanist, lighting, dome, sound, DY, who David Young, who's our musical director. So this is where it all kicks off. We have our color monitor, our infrared black and white, for when we have our blackout, so I can see exactly what's happening. He is our musical director, so basically conducting the show, and I can see everything, if he's got any problems, he'll pick up the phone and talk to me. So along with cueing the show, I give them cue lights. So
you're responsible for giving the actors their really good lighting?
Pretty much.
Assistant stage manager James Cole shows us some iconic pieces.
So tell us, what is the purpose of each broomstick?
We've got our fight broom here, which is the lightweight and can be thrown around by Elphaba, of course. And then our levitating broom, which Elphaba makes fly. Yes.
Okay.
And then this one here's got a special bit of Velcro, so it moves with the set when it's placed down.
I see.
And this is our defying gravity broom. So when Elphaba is flying, that's the one she's got.
Okay. And then what about Glinda's wands?
So we've got our Act 1 wand here, which is used when she's in the bubble. And then our Act 2, which is just a bit more flexible and can be thrown around a little bit. This is one of the first props seen in the show, and it's our baby Elphaba. It's made of silicone, and it's exactly the same weight as a newborn baby. So this is also used for a scene with Elphaba and Fiyero. So we've got our lion cub.
Oh.
So here we've got 2 of the wheelchairs from the show. We've actually got 3, but one of them's currently up in the air. This is our Act 1 wheelchair, which is used by Nessa Rose.
And nobody in all of Oz, no wizard that there is or was, is ever gonna bring me down.
Don't miss an enchanting and spectacular night at the theater for Wicked the Musical in Manila. Opens January 22. Gitanji, Rappler.
Every story on Rappler has a mood meter, which gives you 8 emotions to choose from. Click how you feel, and your vote comes down to the mood navigator in the middle of the front page. That crowdsources the mood of the day. It also gives you the top 10 stories that have affected our readers and viewers the most emotionally. These 10 stories have gotten the most number of votes on their mood meter. If we take a look today, let's look at the story of the bus that we told you about earlier. Don Mariano bus franchise canceled. 86% happy. Yesterday's story, Aquino ratings drop in Luzon. You have 54% happy, 17% don't care. And the story that's gotten the most number of votes is a thought leader's piece by Sylvia Claudio. Don't call me madame. You have 16% happy, 28% amused, and 45% inspired. That green bringing out the mood of the day. Today, most people are inspired. That is Rappler's Newscast for today, Tuesday, January 14th, 2014. Visit Rappler.com and watch our newscast Monday to Friday. Tell us how you feel on our mood meter and help us crowdsource the mood of the day. I'm Maria Ressa. As we say at Rappler, tomorrow begins today.